All right, good morning. I have kind of an interesting design problem. See this structure behind me here? This is a Sunroom solarium. I'll show you what's going on inside. But the homeowner needs to kind of figure out what's going on. It's about like 100 degrees in the summer here. And they got some seals breaking on some of these skylights and windows. And I'll show you inside. But we got to figure this out so we know how much they want to invest in doing their kitchen, master suite, and all these other areas of the home. What's it going to take to really make this space here conditioned and livable? You can see this window here, it's all fogged. So that definitely needs to get sealed. This is a double pane glass. And if it's fogged like that, it means that it's not got that seal in the window unit as a protective layer. This one looks all right. That one looks okay. You know, these two are okay, but we'll check out the skylights. Not looking good from the top, but we'll see if that's just pollen. Check this place out. It's like a 2.5 story, it goes all the way up. Sunroom, 5 massive skylights. It's a really, really cool place, but the problem is all these windows, it's like a solar oven, basically. The sun just beats in on here in the summer and just creates a lot of problems. So that glass is actually a little bit fogged. May not be good. It's tough because they're like a little dirty. I just bought this house, but each of them has, the other ones look okay. Part of what I'm trying to figure out is when this was built, was this considered kind of like a 3 seasons room? So is that wall, which this is the inside of the house, is that insulated? And what I found is I went and drilled some holes here in the drywall because we're gonna be renovating this kitchen eventually. And there's fuzzy stuff, I don't know that you can see in there. No, you can't. But when I drilled in, it pulled out fuzzy insulation. So this wall here is definitely insulated. So my next thing is try to figure out if they insulated any of these walls here. So I'm gonna pull off these little brackets and drill a hole behind it and see what I find. So I zip this out of the way so you can't see it, because they're probably gonna be eventually living in here for a little while. See what we find. Maybe, oh, battery's dead, classic. Maybe this is why I have to stay in the office. I just didn't have the battery plugged in. So it's in now. Ooh, this drill bit is bad. Okay, I'm gonna have to use some force here. Hold tight. Yeah, that drill bit's been used a lot. Need to get a new one. Let's try this one. Oh, still pretty hard. So usually when you do that, you can get insulation. So I think it's probably not insulated, but we're gonna stick my Borescope in there and figure it out. Good news, everyone. You can see that. That's some fuzzy fiberglass insulation back there. So what that tells me is that this wall is insulated, as is probably this one and that one with fiberglass. So fiberglass is not the best insulation, but it is insulation. So I'm just gonna take off, and that's in the window header. It's tough. I think I might try to actually drill a hole in the ceiling here to see if there's any in that face. So the problem is I could drill here, but that's probably a window header structurally. So that's solid wood there. This may or may not hit a stud, and even if it's got insulation, who cares? But you know, these big panels there, like, be interested to see if they actually have insulation there. Let's check it out. All right, gotta get some bigger drills. These little batteries are for the office boys, but yeah, definitely need a bigger drill. Okay, take 2. Drill is real. Need a bigger drill. So we're looking at, but we'll get through it. Don't wait, or don't worry, just wait. Look at that. So see that like fuzzy stuff? It's insulation. So, you know, when I drilled through here, it actually just kind of twirled this out. So anyway, so this is like a solar house design. So it's actually, you can see there's some grates up there, and above the 2nd floor, the air kind of flows through those things. There's a whole void on the front of the house where the air is supposed to kind of like, you know, solar heat in the winter and stuff. So, you know, heat comes in here, and then, you know, it kind of helps to condition the house. This house doesn't have an HVAC system. It's got a massive wood stove That's like a 15-inch pipe or something crazy. But so anyway, I'm honestly not surprised that they did insulate. So they insulated this wall, and then these walls, it's all insulated. If it's a solar house design, they cared about efficiency. So that's good. But you know, these days, for a room like this, we would really recommend closed cell spray foam and everything. We probably are going to recommend potentially redoing some of these windows. You know, this one at least needs to be repaired, but you know, modern windows can get like R9 on glass. Typical code recommendations for exterior walls is R21 of insulation value. So yeah, we're going to look into these windows and see what the quality is, and you know, maybe there's something we can do by bumping the quality of these up. So I'm trying to identify the quality of the window. Hi. These ones here are Andersen, good manufacturer. This might be it's like a 400 series, I think, which is a good window, or up, because it's got this wood frame, but a vinyl clad outside looks like. But what I'm looking at is trying to identify these big picture windows. So I'm looking at this frame here. Check that out. And sure enough, this frame looks exactly the same. So there's no Andersen stamp on these big windows, and these big skylights are the same kind of thing. So I think probably what happened is they ordered Andersen, and they got these are Andersen picture windows. So all that to say, these are good quality windows. So sort of the question is, you know, would replacing these windows really fix the problem? And I think there's a good chance with double pane glass that you know, you'd have to invest a lot in some really, really crazy insulated triple pane setups to replace all these here. So I'm up here on the second floor. There's a really cool balcony, and you got this nice ladder here. Oh, I wonder what that's for. And then I'm looking up, and oh my, those windows are operable. See that crank there? So that's a casement crank. So the idea is in the summer, you come out here on the deck, you jump up on the ladder, put the ladder up there. Yep, looks like you can actually see some roughing up of the top of that beam there. See that plank? You walk along that plank, and in the summer, you're supposed to open up all these windows here. Little scary. I'm not a big fan of heights, so I'm definitely not going up there. But in the summer, this gets so hot, so you want that air to flow up and out. Hot air comes in, flows up and out. And then in the winter, you obviously want it to stay in, so you keep it all closed up. If we wanted to condition this space, you know, the homeowner's gonna have to decide whether it's worth it or not for the very, very intense and expensive cost of spray foaming this entire place. It'd certainly be nice to do that. We're looking at some dry rot. You can see that dark spots there. See that? That's like completely rotted there. So, and that looks like it's kind of the frame of the thing. So, in order to replace that, you really need to kind of look at the glass. So this would be the time to upgrade to a triple pane glass, probably, of some kind. The other thing is that, you know, putting conditioning in here, maybe some mini splits, you know, one high, one low would be a good option. But really getting the air to ventilate somehow. So, you know, can we get little fans there on the ceiling? It's not much space. It's about, it looks to be about 4 feet or so. So there'd be tiny fans, but it'd be nice to get the air flowing up to down so that you're not getting pockets of hot air sticking down here and whatnot. Back in the truck, last thing I'll say that I didn't talk about previously is installing some kind of Lutron solar shades. So Lutron, with their RAW3 system, home automation controls, you can actually take these automated shades, run power to them in those skylights and windows, and they'll automatically come on whenever you want. So if we can block out that sun at key times of the day when the sun is beating in there, that's going to be a really good solution. So, you know, we'll see what the homeowner wants to invest in. Ultimately, the solution of gutting the thing, spray foam, solar shades, new triple pane glass, that's really going to be a super high efficiency way to do it, but it's going to be pretty costly. So it's just a matter of whether the homeowner wants to keep it as it is, just kind of fix the broken seal and just live with it as kind of a 3 seasons room, or to really close it off and make it part of the building envelope and condition it.